is your psychic LJ reporting from the United Kingdom. Is anybody there? Knock once for yes, twice for no. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. It's 11:09 p.m. UK time. Heading towards the witching hour. This is your psychic LJ reporting from underground, Newcastle upon Tyne. Good evening. Good evening, John. Good evening, Border Collie, Nettie, Holly, Margaret, everybody. Good evening. Hi, Hamish. Yous came on quick tonight. How are yous all doing? Good evening, Muse Master Johnny. It's Thursday evening. It's now 11 or 10 p.m. I'm a little bit later tonight. Sorry about that, guys. I've been dead busy. How are yous all doing? How are yous all doing? As everything heats up around the world, we gather in again to this little forum. It's underground. We are going to delve deep tonight, and White Buffalo, my spirit guide, wants to do some channeling. He said he has important stuff, you know how I do the spirit writing, so he wants to give off information. So that should be interesting. See what he has to say. Hiya, Debbie. Oh, good. Hope your doggies are okay. It's quite clammy over here today, guys. I don't know. It was really cold yesterday. Really cold. Cold last night in the UK, in the north. And it's quite close today. I don't know what the weather's like around your neck of the woods. Are you stacking silver? That's good. One foot in front of the other. Try and say that quickly. Crazy times, eh? I'll just get a drink of coffee. And I take it you can hear us okay. It's peaceful in Norway, that's good. Hello in Denmark, just over the water. I had one of my great-grandfathers, I believe, on my mother's side. On my mother's side, not my mother's father's side, because he was German. On my mother's side, my grandma's side, who swam the whole length of the channel in so many minutes. And you're going back to the turn of the century. Could you imagine them? They would have had like them long costumes on. I just think that's rather brave, me. I can swim, but I'm not that good. Yeah, it'd be quite a challenge, that, wouldn't it? Especially our waters, they're quite rough. It's chilly in New York. It was over here yesterday as well, Holly. I don't think the weather knows what to do, does it? So we're just going to go with the flow tonight and see what comes of everything. Sunny day in Canada, well, that's good. That's good. So I'll wait for a few to come on and then I'll do my angel greetings, what I do. My angel prayers before we start. We'll have to try and keep upbeat, don't we? Because there's something definitely going on in the air. Hi Andrea, wee writer. I prefer the cold. I must admit, I like snow weather. I like the snow. Hi, Teddy. It's a beautiful day in Nevada. That's good. So the energy's high over there. Where do you live, Angel? Not today, Satan. Are you the person what did the soaps for us? I've just used that special soap in the bath. Twitch not available? It won't be if you're not a subscriber. You have to be a subscriber. The air's just thick. Definitely. Hi, James. So we're going to get started. We're just going to go with the flow and see what's happening. And as I promised, I would look into world predictions again for you. I'm not just going to concentrate on America, because I've had quite a few emails saying, concentrate on the UK, try the other countries. So I'm going to try as much as I can. I'm going to get my crystal balls, and then I'm going to have a look. I'm not going to do the cards. I'm going to do the crystal balls. And the reason why I see crystal balls is because I might try my black crystal ball as well. So if you subscribe to Twitch, you get an email when I come live, or a notification. The only reason I had to close it in was because it just wasn't working for us, guys. With us doing all this streaming, I have to get like some form of payment. But you can, I have heard that people can sub people and gift people, and you can get it free through Amazon Prime. So have a look. And there's different categories of it. But I'll still be putting free content out on YouTube as well. I always will. I always promise that. I'm only going to make it just, I'll not be streaming on a Sunday. I'll be just doing it exclusively just in Twitch. But then if you come into Twitch, quite often I jump on, and you get us behind the scenes as well and stuff like that. So thank you there, Helen, or Helenum68. But don't worry about it, guys. There'll be special occasions where I'll open it up for you. Things like election nights and things like that. So don't worry about it. I'm not that mean. I've just got to pay the bills sometimes, you know what I mean? Because YouTube's a little bit strange at the moment, and a lot of YouTubers will tell you this. A lot of our views have dropped, and it's not that we're not getting the views. It's like, say, like if I do a live and I'll have like, say, 2 or 3K at the end of which have watched it, and then I'll go into YouTube and it's dropped to 200. They just change it all the time, but it's not just me. And then people have said they've been unsubbed when they haven't unsubbed themselves. So there's something strange going on at the moment. So Twitch is good, but the only way I get paid on Twitch if I get subscribers. Do you see what I mean? Now I'm going to try get my crystal balls. Give us 2 minutes. Right, I'm going to try this one. I'm going to try all 3 tonight. I've got all my little babies. I've got Mummy, Daddy and Baby. Right, so I've got this one, the big universal one. Don't know if you can see it. And I'm going to talk about my scrying and how I do it. If there's anybody in the audience who is interested, if they want any lessons on it, I can put free stuff out on it. How to do it. I'll talk about it a bit tonight. It's quite an art. Okay. And then I've got the one I normally use. All right. And then I've got my little baby one here. My little baby one. Cheers there, Mighty Boosh. So, I do have other things as well. I scry with other things. I mean, you can even scry with a glass of water. Yeah, you could even scry with a glass of water. That's how it is. Some people scry with looking glasses, mirrors, black mirrors. They scry with all sorts of different devices. I can scry by melting wax and then melting it into a bowl of water, a glass bowl of water or a glass, and then it forms shapes and that. That's something else you can do. There's all sorts of ways you can do it. So I'm going to talk about that tonight, and because it's a tool I've always used and I wanted to tell you all about it. I do have the cards. I work with them daily, seeing clients daily. But sometimes people will ask for the crystal ball. They prefer that. Each to their own. Do you know what I mean? I can scry with the tea leaves as well. That's right. I can do coffee reading, tea leaving. Well, no, it's the tea leaves I do. And I will have one of them next week for you've just reminded us on. So the art is not to, how can I put it? You don't concentrate trying to force something. So you let go of all ego, you let go of all questions, and you just go with what you see. And it's sort of, you don't gaze straight into it, you gaze into it and you look to the left or the right, and then you see the images. It's the way I do it. So it starts to form into the crystal ball. And I love it. I really, really do. I can dowse. I definitely can dowse. And I'm quite good at dowsing. But the thing is, I got a little bit suspicious of dowsing when it lied to us, and it lied to my mother as well when we were asking it about my brother if he was going to be okay in the dowse. I said it was. So, and I was doing the prayers before and after. So I'm a little bit sceptical about dowsing. Sometimes I think dowsing can lie, but that's just I'm not saying it wouldn't lie for anybody else. It's just for me. I trust the scrying. And obviously with the cards, the cards is an art. So you, it took me 3.5 years nearly, about 3 years it did, to study the tarot. Because I started off with a plain deck of cards, like the old plain deck, gypsy cards. That's how I started off. Angel cards, fairy cards. But the tarot is a different thing. It's timing of the cards. Timing, you've got the major arcana, you've got the minor arcana. And then you've just got to, you learn by the book, and then you go off and you learn with you don't read with your eyes, you read with your heart. The pendulum, yes. So there's different ways to doing it, but because I use the crystal ball on you, and in this forum, I thought I would tell you about it and how I do it. So before we start, the pendulum, yeah. I used to have some really good nights with a couple of friends on a Sunday, long before I was on social media. And we used to drink to the early hours in the morning and put the world to rights and get the cards out and do all sorts of things, and it was good fun. Really good fun. What's a grave dowser? I really don't know. I don't have any copper rods. I've heard of them. So the next week we're having Moon and Scorpio. Marvellous. I'm Scorpio. And so is my son. Oh, good God. You have to send some bloody healing and blessings over this way. I'm actually quite good at navigating through it, but the solar eclipse wobbled me a bit. I don't know about you, guys, and the Mercury in retrograde was a bit tense for me. Very weird, very woo-woo. I was getting some strange things happening. But Adam does get massively affected by when the moon's in his house. And he's triple Scorpio, so you can imagine. I'll have to be smudging through the house and everything. And I've got to do the astrologies. I've never done them either. I've just been so busy. And then I have practiced it. You can get the again, I trust my guides when they give us the answers, like doing a medium show night. And I've done that before. I'll do more. But there's something called Spirit Box, and you can get the different Spirit Boxes. But I do have an old-fashioned radio, and I once tuned in with it one night. And it was after Paul passed, actually. I thought I'm going to try it out. So me being very superstitious and being a gypsy and all of that, so I says my prayers, my holy prayers and everything, and smudges before I start. So I gets the radio into a setting, and it was working, the Spirit Box. So one night we could have a Spirit Box night if you want. You've got a Spirit Box, Sarah. Does yours work? I just use the old-fashioned radio. White noise with a box. I was getting all sorts of strange things coming through. But I think I got some growling on it one night, and I think it frightened us a little bit, so I just stopped using it. I think with my guides, they tell me what's safe to come through and what's not, so you've just got to be careful. Do you know what I mean? So Holly's Gemini, Sun, Aquarius, Moon. Interesting. That sounds very nice and very nice. Sensitive. There was loads, wasn't there, when Nicola Bulley passed? That was a strange situation, wasn't it? Well, I'm double Scorpio, Adam's triple Scorpio, so you could imagine. You could well imagine. But I'm Libra rising. And I tend to have a lot of Libra traits. Okay. So for anybody new coming into the forum tonight, it's just like coming to a spiritualist church. I invoke all the angels in, my spirit guides. Like if you went to a spiritualist church, sometimes they sing a song or they say a prayer before the start. And it just keeps us all safe. And what I do is I before I come on, I always fuse up the live streams with live Reiki. So if anybody needs any healing or they're worried about anybody, they can write the name in the comments section within the show, after the show, and you will receive healing. If you're worried about any person, anybody, any animal, anything, any situation, whatever you want, just write the names in the comment section and you will receive healing. And then sometime I'm going to do Letters in Heaven again, and I'll let you know when I start doing it. Excuse me. Excuse me. And then when I do, you can I might have to get it through a different email because I got inundated the last time with emails, if you just want the Letters in Heaven. And I think that would be rather nice. So if you wanted to write a letter to your loved one, and then I could get you on the show or whatever. I'm just going to turn this heating down. Give us 2 minutes. Okie dokie, let's start. I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel. To cast this circle now and put healing around this circle of light for everybody who is watching this forum. This is timeless. That you are all protected. And may we get the true answers tonight. I ask my faithful spirit guides, Jed, White Buffalo, Lady Direwolf, Star. Sorry. Running Star, I'm getting wrong. I think they're going to come through tonight as well. Woohoo! Very Native American tonight. And Ra. I thank you all. May the circle of light begin. Thank you. Amen. Did I ask Jed to come in? Yes, I did. Okay. Just relax. This is our time for healing, for letting go of all our stress and our strains, of our daily stuff. Remember, frequency, energy, it's moving all the time. Right? It doesn't stay static Twitch has just crashed. Can you tell us, guys, if Twitch is on? Might be your computer. So energy doesn't stay the same all the time. Right, so maybe it's your computer, Angela? Or when you rang the bell. It'll be them machine trolls. It'll be them machine trolls that are flying around all over tonight. We've got a lot of different entities out there. We've got the angel realm. We've got the spirit world who come and visit. But we also get trapped spirit here, which I'm going to talk about tonight. We have all our different spirit guides. We've got guardian angels. And we also have telepathic communication coming in with different beings. All right? Quietly, because I'm live. And I'm not just talking about the star races. I'm talking about the different deities out there. You've got the fairy elementals. You've got the nature world. You've got the animal kingdom. They're all coming in here. Okay? And once you start to open up, you start to get all sorts. All sorts. I don't think that there's nothing out there. I think anything is capable of having a life force. I really, really do. Even down to a little bug could come and communicate with you. I'm very connected to dragonflies. I don't know about you guys. I like bees and dragonflies. I just think they all play a part of Mother Earth. All divine, pure consciousness. And I'm very much into the animal kingdom, the dolphins, the whales. They keep quite often coming through to us and giving us messages. In the trees, it's not just breathing beings. I believe everything what's a living form also has a spirit. So, these things, it's an interesting thing, right? Because if you gaze into it, I don't gaze into it like I used to gaze into it when I first started to do it. But you've got to look into it, and you've got to let go of anything that you're trying to force to look for. You can start with a prayer in your head, or you can say it out loud, whatever you're comfortable with. You can call upon your angels or your guides to give you the true answer. Some people don't do that. Some people go straight for it. It's just a preference, what everybody works in different ways. Do you see what I mean? But I do believe these are transmitters as well. They're not just scrying balls. So anything to do with clear quartz, if you touch clear quartz when you're in a bad mood, try not to, or you're feeling down, because it's an amplifier. So these are very good if you were going to do spell work, because they're an amplifier. They're also very good for communication. If you're going to do channeling or remote viewing, you can hold one. You can sleep with them next to your bed or underneath your pillow. They're good for communication. They're good for healing. But if you touch one and you're in a very bad mood, and you see, like if you're thinking of somebody and you're really peed off with them, or you're very angry with them, and you touch a crystal, it can act as an amplifier. And especially now we're coming into the 5th dimension and we're starting to spiritually ascend, you have to be careful with your crystals as well. You have to be careful with your thoughts, because these are like transmitters. So quite often, if I'm going to connect with the Galactic Federation, the ones that I do channel, sometimes I'll hold one of them and I sit and meditate, and then I feel them, sensing them coming through, because it's like a transmitter. And there's a lot of controversy out there about the grey alien races, the little greys, but they're not all bad. The race that I did communicate with, I have communicated with, that's how I found Zatchar. But he's an insecticide, okay? Part insecticide, part grey. And he's a professor. And he's taught me a lot about the different races. Some of them I can't even pronounce. the way they say them. Some of them are like a sound with the rolling with the tongue and stuff like that. But they showed me that they originally came from Earth, and they were the original humans, and they were the great masters of the scientists, and they had their souls stretched and stretched and stretched because they were messing on with science, and they became sort of extinct in a way where they couldn't live on Earth anymore. They had to go off. They made themselves sick. So I've talked about this before, where souls are bigger than our bodies. So your soul could be in any one place at any one time. That's why some people are in parallels. So the Greys sort of mastered that. They had the God code, and they were messing around, and they were cloning. That's what they were doing. And they were stretching souls. So they became extinct, and they're still about. A lot of them live up in space. They do visit here. You've got good and bad. Remember, there's good and bad in every race. So when you're talking, people are saying, oh, this race is bad or that race bad. That's not looking at things very fifth dimensional. And that's where we go wrong as a human race on this planet. Because we divide and we categorize different races, and you can't do that. And it's the same with the star races. It's exactly the same with the star races. So there's good and bad even with the Greys as well. So little Zacho showed me a past life that I'd had, and it looked like old Earth, and he reckoned, well, I believe him, that I knew him then. He transported us back in time, and it was underneath in mountains, great mountains, and he gave us this Lemurian crystal, and it was in dream state, it was in trance, and they have beautiful crystals in the mountains. They've got them in Canada, they've got them all over, they've got them in the Andes, they've got them everywhere, okay? And they use these for amplifiers, and they use their crafts with this special crystal they had and these special metals, which is rich within Earth's ground. He's shown me that there is a lot of arcs which are sleeping and ready to be set off at any point. Okay? And it's going to take somebody special to do this. Remember, we're all here, boots on the ground, playing out our part. But he showed me many things, and he told me about the crystals, that we have to be careful. We have to look after them. We have to wash them with water. You know, you can put them in the sunlight over the daytime. I quite often use the sunlight for charging mine. But you can cleanse them in the moonlight. You can sage over them. Different crystals, and you can set them off around your house. But like I say, the clear quartz is a transmitter. So May 2 in the audience here on Twitch says, I have a box of Lemurian crystal. Yeah. So there's so much we need to understand. Yeah. So you know how you've got within different communities to do within the truth community, they'll say, oh, the Greys are bad, they're this, they're that, you know, the reptilians are bad. There's different races in different races, like just exactly the same as on Earth. We are a mirror effect. We are the hybrids. And out there in the galaxy, it's the same. And they do come here. There are a lot more here than we know. And these different races are good and bad. Just like you would get in one family, you'd get some good people and you get some bad people. So we have to start like looking at things differently. You know? Yeah, I mean, I believe that there's organisations within families that have run certain corporations on Earth. And we know about that. But then you'll have good and bad within these families. It doesn't mean that everybody in that family is bad. Does that make sense? I watched this creepy video last night, and I can't put it on because of copyright. But I quite often follow him. It's called Slapped Ham, and it's on YouTube. I'm going to put it on and show you the... I'll turn the noise down on it. It was 2 minutes. It was the most creepiest thing. Actually, it'll be in me history. And it was filmed. People send in his filming, okay? It's all spooky stuff, from ghostly stuff to everything. And somebody had sent this filming in. It should be in here. Eerie details on caught on camera video. Slapped ham. I'll turn this down. And it was... Some people think it's just somebody who's coming back from a Halloween party. But this was taken in the United Kingdom early hours of the morning, of two strange beings walking through, it looked like a train station. So freaky. I'm going to find it. Right, wait a second. Watch this, guys. Now watch carefully. Look at their faces. Look at their faces. Could you imagine getting up early to go to a tube station and you're seeing them, like, standing? They look like, somebody said they look like vampires. So there's a lot of strange stuff going on. But if you get close up to their necks and that, it doesn't look like they've got masks on or anything. Do you know what I mean? Vampires. We just don't know, do we? We really don't know what's out there. But what we're also got to understand is we judge a book by a cover. That's what we do as humanity. Yeah. They do look like vampires, don't they? One of them looked a bit like Spock. I know, could you imagine? I used to get up early in the morning once upon a time when I used to go and work at the hospital. And I used to, when I worked at the dentist as well, when I was like 17. And I used to get 2 buses and a metro, and sometimes I'd be like sitting early hours of the morning waiting to get on the metro. Oh my God, could you imagine seeing them coming towards you? You'd shut a brick, wouldn't you? You really would. The veil is thin. The veil is very, very thin. But Zachar does say that they are walking amongst it. And as you know, I've caught... No, I'll have to check that out, Judith. So, you'll have to... Will you email us that, Judith? That would be good. I just believe that we are all experiencing all sorts at the minute, and we just need to try and keep our feet firmly on the ground. We really, really do. But Zachar keeps saying that there's a lot of beings here, and they are walking amongst it, and the technology is picking it up now. And as we start to ascend, we are starting to also pick it up. So that was the big one. So that was the baby one there, which I started off with. You all right, son?
Aye.
What you looking for?
The phone.
The phone? It's in the living room. Shut the door. Thank you, Jenny. So, there you go. And that's the bigger one. So, sometimes when I look into them, they'll fog over. They'll go like dusty looking. Inside like smoggy. And then my eyes start to go a little bit sort of cross-eyed. And then people have said who are watching us sometimes when I'm gazing into it, I go like strange. He's not looking for food. He's looking for the phone. I have made him some food. It's in the fridge if he needs it. So when you start to look into it, you start to get strange images. And sometimes we fight against that and we look at it and we think, oh, that's silly, I can't say that. But you've just got to say, say what you see, and then it's two sort of images, and then it might not make sense straight away. It may make sense later on. So it takes like time, and it's an art. Do you know what I mean? But I'm actually got it off to an art where I can look around the globe with it. It's a bit like, Sky television when you're watching the weather and it's going around the globe. It's a bit like that, the way I see it. But when I get really intense stuff, it starts to fog in. And then this one here, people say, well, how can you see into these when they're black? But you'll be surprised what you can see into it. All right, so it's a tool. And looking into the black ball is actually very, very easy. So you start to, so you pull it in like that, and then you go out like that. Then you look in, and then you start to gaze into it. So you start to see, the way I see it is I start to see the visions coming in. And this is still working at the same time as a psychic medium. So that when I'm seeing it like remote viewing, it intensifies it with it being an amplifier. They intensify the remote viewing. So I've connected with the crystals. Does that make sense? So it's a bit like that. And it amplifies it. It's a bit like watching a video recording. It's very, very heavy. It's like a cannon, this. I do have a stand for it. But as you can see, I look into that and I can go around the universe and have a look. It's really interesting. I've seen the space cities in this. Yeah, so my mind's eye also works with this, and then I connect it. It's so say for example I'm looking into this and I'll see trees. So I just empty my mind, let all ego go, okay? And then I go with the feelings. So I've got to use my feelings. Is it trees? Where is it? What climate is it? How do I feel? So you're piecing it together. It's a bit like being like a detective. You're piecing it together like a jigsaw puzzle. It's the same when you're using the cards. You've got to go with what you feel. So I'm seeing solar storms as I'm looking into this. Great solar storms coming in. And I'm getting Mother Earth is very, very angry. She's upset at the moment. The gods are awakening. I'm going to be getting all sorts tonight. There's some sort of magnetic wave in the sea. And this is to come. When I'm seeing a magnetic wave, it could be like a tsunami. It's like a ripple effect. I'm seeing it. But it's not like a natural disaster. It's something what's been set off with electromagnetic pulses. Weaponry, what's out there, what we do not know. Who's the culprits doing this? Well, we know what's going on at the minute. There's like the four heads of the beasts which are fighting, So they will do things like this to try and cause problems. Could be Russia, something like that. But it looks like there's going to be events taken off in sea. So you need to watch for that. So we writer here says, I see golden light surrounding Earth, holding balance. Balance is a key. Exactly. But it's as if like her energy field, she's detoxing. She's balancing. She's detoxing and balancing. She's going through a sort of a rebirth. She really, really is. I'm also seeing, as I hold this crystal ball, I'm also seeing Jupiter and Saturn. Shall I just go with it? Let's start. So, I've got to use two hands for this, guys. Right, Jupiter and Saturn. So how we are a very tribal race. Don't forget we are the hybrids. There is different races out there who are also very tribal. Remember that. there is ritualistic stuff that's been going on Saturn. There's a lot of activity going on out there in the Milky Way. So there's protocol going on there in the Milky Way. You've got the Federation. Space Force has also taken part of that. I'm actually seeing 2 Space Forces. Now, when I say that, I don't know does that mean anything, Jed? 2 Space Forces. So we've got the United States Space Force, which they're building a Space Force city up in Scotland. Did you know that? It's going to be an American one where they're going to be coming in and out with their flying craft. It's going to be right at the top of Scotland. I wonder if China's got their own Space Force. There's sort of like 2 or 3 in one. 2 or 3 in one. But I'm also being shown that there's another doppelganger planet, just exactly like Earth. Everybody focuses on how we're going to get to Mars or Venus or whatever. But people need to look in the opposite direction. This is what Buffalo's coming in now. And he's saying that there is other life forms in all the Kepler regions in the Goldilocks zone. And they have gone through exactly what we're going through. I've channeled this before. So you've got the Kepler region and you've got some Earth-like planets there. One of the Earth-like planets has just been taken over by the DS. And then another one's been freed from them. Okay, like the baddies. And then you've got a one going through a transition like us. But we're next in line for doing this. So the ones which are free, there's a gold that's like in the Goldilocks zone, but somehow they got in. So you're talking sort of rogue extraterrestrials which broke away from the federations and they formed their own armies. And they've tried to come in and manipulate governments and stuff like that. So out there in the Milky Way, there's a doppelganger Earth with people on. Could you imagine it just being transported there? Their vehicles look a lot more different, square, flatter. But there is doppelganger Earths out there. There really, really is. Where they've got dolphins. Do you know that sharks are all over the galaxy? And dolphins and whales. They have lions. They have cats. The kitty cat is out there in the galaxy. It's very, very... they do have a form of a dog, different dogs. But they did have a moon dog, which they bred to be very vicious. So a lot of the Pleiadians are a little bit careful about dogs. They've got this other thing, which is, I can't even see what it looks like. It looks a bit like a possum thing. It's a fluffy thing. It's a half between a cat and a dog. It's like a little teddy bear thing. They've got them. But they're very much into their cats. There's kitty cats across the galaxy. The Pleiadians even have the cats on the starship, the little domestic cats. And if you go back to all ancient culture, cats are not from Earth. Cats are alien. The domestic cat is alien. That's why their eyes light up in the dark. If you go back through the ancient cultures and that, like what the Egyptians, they worship these gods coming in, but they had the cats. They worship the cat. They were brought in on the starships. Have a look. Yeah, so there's a lot of protocol going on up there, but they do have it's a bit like Star Wars out there. So within these federations, you might have a big Draco with leathery skin, first in command, flying one of these machines, and then it might be a little humanoid sitting next to him. They don't have any racism at all. They're not allowed it. Yeah. It's and they don't categorize you. You look at the person. Lyrians are cat people, yeah. They look at the person, how they feel. So they're very worried about us going into the space programs, because we can be very tribal type of people. But that was it. So on the planet, what was just taken over by the DS, off in the Kepler region, just not far from that, like on outskirts of there, then people were more tribal than us. They were ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. This is what I'm being given here. Oh, I've got Shaloah coming in. You see, you can't plan channeling. Okay, he's stepping back there, White Buffalo. Oi, Shaina, Maya Sayao. Shailima. This is Shaloah from the Federation. Huil Maisio. Iga. Good evening, humanity. What's happening, Shaloah? She is so excited. They are excited that we are believing and we are understanding the different cultures, the different things they want to introduce to us, the great foods, the great technology. It has been seeped onto this planet. She says it's not as fantastic as what you think. She's so funny. Would you like to explain that, Shaloah? Give me 2 minutes. Would you like to explain that? She's saying, ladies, she says, gentlemen will be gentlemen across the galaxy. Oh. So, we as the Pleiadians, we represent the sexual energy, the yin, the yang, the yin, the yang, and we are against the changing of the structural body. They don't call it transgender. They don't call it that. They what do you call it? There is no divide. There is no culture. There is no law. There is no law of who you love. So we go on energy and frequency. We have different courting ways of courting, of getting to know each other within relationships. So there is no broken relationships because they are very ascended. So they go on the frequency. So if somebody has that yin and that yang, or if they're in a feminine body but they are more yang, or vice versa, you just accept and you choose. And she says we have the ability to fit ourselves to the right frequencies within love, with lovers. So there is no unwanted pregnancies. That's something else she's saying as well. We take this very, very serious. She's saying, but we are very sexually evolved. We are great for exploring that side of life, and we are very sexual. She's very sexual, very sexual. She says some have two partners, some are sharing, but there is agreements. But when we are with a relationship, we stay with that relationship for life. This is what she is saying. When we come to decide to have a child, we take this very serious, and we plan this, and it's a lot to do with the planet system. We plan this with genetics. We test. We have great medicine out there to test our bodies so that everything is fine for the child to come on to be born. Their gestation of having their children is shorter. She said about 7 months. So their full term with a child is about 7 months. Our babies are not so large as what human babies are. She cannot understand this. She says it's the bulk of the food that we eat here, different types of food. But our children are a lot more thinner what come out of us, but they bulk up very quick on this great nourishment we give them. Some mothers on my home planet, we still breastfeed, so that goes on across the galaxy. But she says that we have developed a milk from a fruit pulp, which is extremely good. We have this on the Galactic ships, and it's like a smoothie, and it's good for the human-eyed body. It's a cross between a fruit and a vegetable, and the children really thrive on this, and they are so excited because it's got every nutrient the body needs. And they are growing this across the galaxy. They trade out there. Trade is going on out there in the galaxy, from metals to precious metals to food to seeds. It's all going on. There is a lot of trade happening out there from different planets, and they are so excited to bring this pulp. This, what is it called, Shaloah? Okay. Can we put this into English? Paita. It looks like a smallish sort of melon, and when you crack it open, a bit like between a melon, she said, and an avocado. And you crack it open, but it's got a milk in it. And it's got it sounds disgusting. It's got a tint of green to it, but it's got everything in. And the baby thrives on this. The children thrive on it. We all thrive on it. We live longer. We have tried to introduce this in. They will not accept it in because of what's been ruling this planet, but it will be brought in. I've spoke about this before, haven't I? What else can you say, Shaloah? Okay, my suoi, I shayoi, asada. Kika, masido. There is special operations happening around this planet, and they are protecting and patrolling the planet. We are operating, and she cannot say too much, but they do come in and out. There is special underground places connected with Space Force. They are connected. Space Force and the Galactic Federation is connected. Okay. Do we have to worry about anything to do with any warlike situations, Shaloah, or anything worry with nuclear? We will intervene. We have intervened 3 times this year alone. We have intervened 3 times this alone. This is what she's saying. Kukia adidaya wazina. Hui aisitaramo yuwazinamo. She's saying that we don't have a marriage as a marriage. There's nothing with a certificate, but we have a ceremony where our loved ones come when we make that decision to stay with somebody. And we have something called a universal day. They also practice this in the Kepler planets, in other planets. It's a universal day for winning over. She's saying the Lizzies, but it's gone. The cyborgs is what we are up against now. The cyborgs. So there was a galactic war, and they are in this protocol now. So they're just cleaning up the planets and helping everybody. I'm going to be straight to the point here. I'm just going for it. So do you have like love making, Shaloah, like what humans do? Kukaso, of course she's saying. She's saying very sexual, very sexual. But she worries. She worries for the interaction between humanity and the Pleiadians, because the Pleiadians are very sexual, and obviously they would, unless you knew your partner was a Pleiadian, the Pleiadians would suss out the right person to be with, to find. So say like if some of them came down onto Earth and they intermingled amongst humanity, and then all of a sudden you met one of these ladies in the audience, met a gorgeous tall blonde guy in a nightclub or something, and he would seek you out for the ones who have that DNA. Do you understand? So can you tell me which is the most sexual ones in the star races? She says, you are not going to believe this. The Pleiadians and the reptilians. The reptilians are also very sexual as well. She says there is races out there which are not sexual, but we are the closest to you. We are very, very sexual. Okay. So how old are you when you normally make that decision, Shaloah? She says it is older than what your Earth age is, but we are similar because we go on different lunar months, and within the year there's different. We have 2 or 3 moons. We have longer years. We are older. Border Collie, Shaloah is asking, can humans, I can't see, there's somebody in the way there. Go to her planet asking for a friend. You can communicate, practice with your crystals, and if and when the right time, they will seek you out. So Mana speaker in the audience, Shaloah is asking, I can't imagine how reptilians do it. Tika, so the same as man. We are the same. We are the same. Okay. Yeah, exactly the same. Tukaba, Isa, Ukaba. Ooh, just saying like dogs. Rampant like dogs. Ooh. Okay. She says at least we use our love vibration. We use our love vibration. So they are all about the 5th dimension. I need to dress. So this is so funny. So is it the case, Shaloah, that there is such thing as that? Do you actually experience the orgasm? Okay, we do, and we take great pleasure in this. We have touch sense. We are very sensitive, so we caress. We take longer. It's very sensual, and she's not trying to sound big-headed, but a Pleiadian woman would blow a human man's mind. Blow a human's mind. Blow their brains. Somebody in the audience, Suel, is asking that, does the rhesus negative have a lot to do with your connections? Not just us. There is many different alien races. You are correct, Suel, she is saying. You are correct, but not just the Pleiadians. It is the different, it's not the monkey gene. So we are not just Pleiadian. We could be many different races. Interesting. Angeline says, oh my God, we're going to go there now. So there is a group of generations of the younger Pleiadians. They have the elders on the starships, and they want to come on assignments. Sometimes they're coming on and off, but they want to come on assignments. They want a human wife, and they are being restricted because they are very hot-blooded Pleiadian guys, and she's saying they need to be trained properly. They have to have protocol, so they are going through the proper schooling before they come as volunteers to come into the plane, because they want to pick their human wives. So basically, Shaloah, is if you're going back to the holy books, where they talked in the holy books of the angels coming, and it says in the Bible, like they took their wives. Well, that doesn't sound very good, and they had the Nephilim. Is it that, but it's more advanced? Yes. She's saying the holy books were not lies, but the holy books have been manipulated and bits have been taken out by different organisations. So Lorianne in the audience says, I volunteer. Interesting. Just laughing. Lorianne, she says, I would have to take care of you. They are very naughty. She says they are hot-blooded men. Hot-blooded. She's saying that the women play a big part in these systems to keep them calm. And a mother's role in the Pleiades is very, very important in a different way to what it is on Earth. Interesting. Somebody in the audience is asking how long do Pleiadians normally live for. Sometimes we can live up to 700, 800 years. We do not like to live that long because we are very, not vain, but we like to look good. But we do have elders that live that long. Her grandfather lived till he was nearly 700. 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, here. So, Shaloah, are these volunteers on these starships going to come down to find their wives? Yes. What about, are they going to send women down? Yes. But we can control ourselves. That's what they're saying. The women can control themselves. But they still have to go through the training. Okay. Do you have hospitals, Shaloah, where you go to have your children when you give birth? We do have medical centres on the starships, and we have great technology, but we find this a very natural thing. We do not believe in putting drugs into a mother or a baby, so we have a natural process of giving birth, which is not like you go through on Earth. And it is quick. I'll just wait for Adam to come in and out. Are you okay? Aye. Good. Chop, because I'm channeling. Choppity chop. All right. Aye. Good. Shut the door. All right. What else am I getting? So they have groups of women, females. They don't say women, they say females, because they're not man, they're not woman. They have a different way of putting it. There's a lady coming in with her now, because as I'm channeling Shaloah, she's in sort of like this suite on a starship. She's lying down in the restroom. It's very much like Star Trek. And she's got this feminine energy with her. She's got very red, wavy hair. It's Lyrian, a friend, like a Lyrian female. So the women train the men. Interesting. The women, get this one, the elders train the young men. Strange. So I'm going to ask this, Shaloah, is the Pleiadians here now? Okay, ma, you'd say how see different organizations and different operations, and we are also working within secret military. But yes, there is some living amongst you. But not all Pleiadians. There is many. There is reptilians, there is Valyrians, there is Venus. A lot of Venus people here. She's saying this. Angel wants to ask what you train them for. Ethics. Some of the full bloodlines of Pleiadians, like I say, they are very like warriors, strong. It has a different masculine energy to the human man. So they are very sort of like, could you comparison, Shaloah? Like a goth energy. So they can be very, they are highly censored, power, super soldiers types of guys. Do you know what I mean? So they need to have just taught ethics to keep them in line, so it makes them a better person. If you could see our worlds right now, we have the most beautiful food, beautiful fresh fruit and vegetables. We trade beautiful fish. We are not all vegetarian. We do eat some sort of different meat to you, but we do eat fish. We eat lots of different fish. We work a lot with crystals. We spend time together with friends on social experiments, and we try to communicate with you when we go home. We gather, we have sometimes gatherings and parties, and we telecommunicate with the ones we are connected with. If you could see our beautiful shorelines, they are like heaven, white sands. On my planet Era, there is 3 main star races which we all live in harmony. And one of the races comes from one of the Kepler planets. They are very dark skinned. They look a bit like an Aborigine. They are very highly intelligent, a lot of shamans. We do a lot of rituals. We go to them. We work with planets, that type of thing. We are a lot closer than what you think. Man has become too greedy. Man is here to cause destruction. Their old corporation is being taken down. You must not worry, humanity. Kuma istarako ashidia oka. The old lines are falling, she's saying. The old lines. What's the old lines? Akoi ita timelines. We have broken something. We have broken a timeline. Earth is going to go through a massive transition between now and 2025. And we will experience many different situations where it may look very panicky, like global problems. But it's the corporations just fighting, just let it happen, just experience it, and just live in the here and the now. Okay, many of you who are experiencing and seeing numbers, it is us who are reaching out to you. Everything in the galaxy is frequencies and numbers and sound. It is all binary. Meditate, and we often come through with lilac blue, lilac or blue or lavender or purple. Sometimes silver, sometimes gold. But yes, we are mixed like you now. So I am part Pleiadian and part human. How's that, Shaloah? My parents made me in a lab because of their genetics, so they could live longer. We have the ability to see with technology, which we want to bring onto the earth plane. And through an experiment of a earth volunteer, my egg did not come from the egg that made me, came from a human mother. But this was designed so then I could work within this corporation to then come in and out and work with you all. I wanted to be unique. That was my higher self. Do you have music, Shaloah? Yes, we do. Do you have alcohol, Shaloah? Personally not, but there is some who do. It's not alcohol as what we have. It is a pulp from a forest, from a rainforest, which gives a high, and they have it in certain parts of the galaxy. They sometimes have it on these starships, but gives you a hit. But personally, majority of us, no, we do not drink alcohol. So do you know of any reptilians, Shaloah, that are married to any Pleiadians or anything? My friend is married to a reptilian. She is a humanoid Lemurian, part Elven. She's got like the little ears. She is the boss and he is a big man. Big man. And she is small and she is the boss over him. You see? Cool. So what you're saying, Shaloah, is girl power is across the galaxy. Yes, girl power is across the galaxy. Whew. Yes. So when we are getting this information about reptilians, are they not all bad? Yeah. She says they have evolved just like us, but some have broke away and they are working within the rogue formed together corporations. You cannot rid all the negative off the planet. Somebody in the audience has asked, how will Shaloah live since she is not 100% Pleiadian? She will live because of the technology. So it's got nothing to do with your DNA. They have the technology and their food is pure and they don't have the toxins in food and their water and everything. So that's the reason why they live longer. It's got nothing to do if you're a Pleiadian. Do you see what I mean? She wanted to have that, her higher self, and her parents knew this, that she wanted to have this part human DNA. So looking at her, she looks very much like a Swedish blondish woman. That's what she looks like. Yes, she is married. She is married. Yes. And have you been with your husband all this time? Yes, she's saying. Do you have children? Two. She's seen 2 children. She has a boy and a girl. Is there anything else that you can give us? So this frequency, we are all struggling on this planet at the minute, Shaloah, because we are feeling as a collective, it's very, very heavy because we are becoming more psychic and sensitive. We are feeling something is not right and everything that's playing out in 3D. How do we get past that? How do we navigate past that? How do we get past that? Okay, sina sita kabosio shaita. She says that only your way is the right way. You have to look within. When you are seeing something from the outside, it is a negative projection. What they are putting out there. Kuyamo sita. She says, for example, she says that when we are talking about scrying, these scryings can be used as transmitters and they can be used as healing, different things. Kuma, she says, but you have to be careful for the technology, what is playing out on the earth plane at the minute, and only use it in small limitations. Don't, because this is how people are getting brainwashed. So it is a personal thing. This is what she's saying. It's a personal thing. And each and every one of you, your ascension will be different to the next person next to you. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's what's comfortable for you. Kusha Isalamosa. She says, but the television screen is the black mirror. Ooh. The television screen, is that right, Shaloah? Is the black scrying mirror. Yeah, she says, so but limit anything and try to be around nature. Try to so what you're saying there, Shaloah, is that they can put things through that. Yes. Yes. So they don't have television screens. So could that be the same with the phone screens, the computer? Ashita, yourself? Yes. So they don't have anything gadget. Not like that. Right? This was made by the archons. So but you now have become used to it, so you need it. So it's going to take time for us to feed this in. But the machinery that we have is holograph, no machine. No machine. So she says that it's holographic that we have on our planet. There is no, we don't have, it's beam me up, Scotty. Yeah, this is time traveling stuff, devices, you know, they can walk into their homes and talk to something and something will just pop through the atmosphere, but then it goes. So that energy is not watching you all the time because they've sussed out how to stop that. So it's very Star Trek, that's what you're saying. But in between, Earth and other planets have done this as well. They have brought in the gadgets, so they've limited this quantum energy by putting in these gadgets so they can keep an eye on us. To keep an eye on us. So once we get past this, past these gadgets, when we're going into quantum and everything, they can't manipulate it. This is what's ready to come in, guys. This is what you're seeing. It's all ready to come in. You must not worry. Be around nature. Frequency. Music is frequency. Even everything has been manipulated. So even down to the music industry. So be careful what you listen to. But it's what's right resonates with your energy. If you're feeling in a good mood, you will want to listen to good music. If you're feeling in an angry mood, you would want to listen to the low life, the rock, lower tones. So be aware of what you're listening to and what you are consuming. Is there anything else that you can say, Shaloah? Will we be okay? Yes. It's the movie if they're playing out in 3D. We must not worry. Shaloah, I must ask what's happening with our banking system. Cookie tie. It is broken. It is changing now as we speak, but it is going and moving in the right direction. But it will still look 3D to humanity, but it is a different system behind the scenes. Okay. So will animals live through this, and are animals ascending, Shaloah? Okay, Shayu. Ita. They have always been ascended, Louise is saying. We are now realizing that they are ascending because we are ascending. Wow. So are you saying that we have underestimated animals and animals are a lot more ascended than we know? Shisaju, Ashaka, Isata, Shayu. Yes, she's saying yes. Everything is ascending. Okay, I know I shouldn't really ask this, Shaloah, but I just feel I need to ask. There is a great mess happening, as you know, across the planet. And politics is something what's very much in the limelight at the minute in the United States of America. The reason why I tend to look at this is because it's sort of center stage, which is affecting whatever happens there is affecting everywhere else. Can you see any big changes to happen for the United States of America, or do you not feel that's important? Okay, let's go drink the water in a minute. Okay, Ashai, it's that. There is not much we can say on the matter, but that everything is not the way it should be. Everything is playing out in slow motion. It's as if everything's been stuck in a time warp, but you have to trust the process. You have to trust the process, and you are visually watching the old corporations, the old energy falling away before the new energy is brought into the United States of America. That's what she's saying. We do not take sides. We do not take sides of any political. We are not here to represent that. That is a human quality. It is a human quality. And sometimes it can get caught up and bring into that lower vibration, as you know. She says, but I will tell you one thing. History is going to repeat itself. That is set in stone. Okay. Can you divulge a bit more on that, Shaloah? We are still working on it. We cannot say too much because of the timeline change. But it's what is best for Mother Earth, not as what is best for any political side or party. Can you tell me if Biden is still going to be the president into the future? I cannot answer that, Louise. Look, you do not need me. You have worked this out yourself. She is laughing. She says, you understand who is watching you? What do you mean by that? Just look within your hearts and do not worry, and everything will play out the way it is meant to. There is very much great happening behind the scenes. And the operators who have taken over, the dark operators, have a plan. But sometimes if warriors come back too early, it can be fatal. They will be brought in at the right time. That's all she can say on the matter. Okay, Star, come on to that. But old energy is leaving the USA and new energy is coming in. Shua, Sita, Hu, Ita. She personally believes, because they are not God, they are just here to represent humanity. Personally, she believes a feminine energy is needed, a Pleiadian energy is needed for the United States of America, but it's something that man has to play out. It's the old corporations still at play in 3D, and this is going to take time. Okay. Kubasiti Dawu Ita Asho. Tell your audience not to worry, and what they believe, they will witness. Okay, so she's saying that we have to focus on a good outcome, and because we are now in this fifth dimension, so if we believe something, we can send it off good into the atmosphere. If we are sitting worrying, we are going to make things worse. It is a holy spiritual war. Okay. Tikamas. All a movie, she's saying. She's laughing. Kumatado. She's saying, are you sure that you want to be on our planet? She is laughing. Hukamasito. There is many of the Pleiadian men want this. They want to come. They want the urban lifestyle, which they do not have on our planet. They have that warrior in them. And some will be intercepted within your political system who are being trained to come in. And within your society, watch them taking place, she's saying. But she says we do not have this. We do not have the need for this. We go on a full protection of the planet, and we have a different system. We have a different system. She sends peace and blessings out to anybody that you support or love. Remember, everybody has a right to be where they need to be. They are playing their part. It is very that the avatars, they are the spirit beings and the avatars. They are there for a reason. And what she asks is not to get angry from a side that you do not support, because they could be being used by the puppeteers. They are being used by the cyborgs, she's saying. Some of them have past life like karmic codes. They are born into it and they have no choice. You have to have the yin, the yang, the dark, the light. That's what she's saying. So not to put the anger out, what the cyborg energy of all this political movement and the media is feeding. They're taking your, as Louise says, the loosh. Komako, she's all, we give you peace and blessings. I have to report back to duty. My husband is calling. Hoyo Maisda. This is Shaloah from the Galactic Federation of Love and Light. We love you all. There is great worlds that we need to introduce to you. And my gentlemen friends will be pleased to meet you, ladies. She's got such a sense of humour. Thank you, Shaloah. We are watch the skies, and we are there. We love you all. This is Shaloah. Signing out. There you go. Oh, bless her. Bless her. I need a coffee, guys, and a cigarette after that. Oh. She's so lovely. Well, I didn't think I'd come straight in and start talking about orgasms and things like that. Oh my God. I was planning on getting White Buffalo through, and I get Shaloah talking about the men and everything, and given out she wanted to tell you about our culture. Oh my goodness, it was like all about our culture tonight. But they don't have the politics, guys. He probably wants his dinner. The naughty boys, she's saying, the naughty boys. It's interesting how she said there was no transgender over there. It was, we accepted in a different way. We don't categorise nothing. We just love is love. So some people are just fluid looking or fluid types of people. We go on the energy. But she said there is a very strong feminine and masculine within the Pleiadian race. Bit like humans. She's married, yeah. Well, she's not a marriage. She's saying everything like that is, they don't have birth certificates. They don't have, that's ownership. Let us have a break and we'll see who else we'll get through. It's a channeling night tonight, guys. They do have a slight Japanese, don't they? Many people have said that. But you've got to understand, where's all these different languages come from? Where do they all come from? We come from the stars, guys. We're different tribes of different star races. We are the hybrids. But she has, I might do some scrying actually. And see, I mean, she showed me this before, you know, like the beautiful beaches over there are just amazing. One day I'd like to write a book about all my channelings. I'm just a very busy lady at the minute, you know what I mean? There's only so much you can do in a day. But White Buffalo is here, and I know he's going to possibly give us some stuff as well. And I mean, I do automatic writing with White Buffalo. And it's like prophecies, that type of thing, you know. Me too in the audience speaks Pleiadian. Wow. I would love to hear that. Well, there's only certain star languages I can translate. Because they say there's thousands of different star races. I haven't tried them all. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I say that. I've never tried them all. Just the ones what come to us. But you can't plan channeling. It just comes in when it comes in. And I always know when she's about because I get like a little buzzy feeling just before she comes in. I get like a little buzzy feeling in my foot. Get more like an earthy feeling with White Buffalo and Jed. Well, Jed's always with us. What star races are you, Louise? Well, I've been told I'm Elven, Fairy Elemental, but definitely Pleiadian as well. I've had a past life with them. That's what I've been told. And I believe I've got a teensy-weensy bit of reptilian in as well. And the reason why is that I was told that is because a lot of humanity do have. And it's usually when you eat meat, you've got that carnivore side of you. It's, like I say, it's everything what's been taught has all been like wrong and twisted. Like when you get into like different, when it starts going into communities and stuff like that, they'll say, oh, that's wrong. But there's more to it. I know I've got a lot of Jupiterian in us. I've got a bit of everything in us. But basically fairy elemental like Elven. Well, I've had a past life with Ra. And I've definitely been connected in the Valley of the Kings. Definitely. I've always known that. From being a little girl. You speak so beautifully, really. Oh, that's nice. Because English vocabulary is not my best. Do you know what I mean? I am actually dyslexic, severely dyslexic actually. I don't know how the hell I taught myself to do all of this, to put the YouTube and the editing all together. I don't know how in the movie making, I'm very creative that way. And I've got a very highly mathematical brain. I can crack codes and stuff like that. But when it comes to spelling, I'm terrible. I'm absolutely terrible. So give us 5. I'm going to put the picture on. Go make your cup of coffees, your popcorn, your cup of teas, whatever. Give us 5. I'm going for make myself a cuppa and have a ciggy, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay? And then we'll get cracking again. Not be long. Okay, give us a 5-5 if you can hear us. My cat Buttons is a Martian. Well, yeah, that's what she said. She says they weren't from here. Originally, the domestic cat. So basically, a lot we're being taught is like, it's not all about evolution, is it? There's been some interceptions, definitely. All these missing skulls when we've gone from that and then we've gone upright. There's definitely missing links, isn't there? How many in the audience watch the, what's it called? Oh, goodness me, I can't think what it's called, that program. Alien program. It's gone. David Wilcox has been on it. Has anybody watched it? There's loads of them out there, mind, isn't there? Is it rebooting? See, can definitely hear us. Gaia. That's it. Ancient Aliens is good. I do get that on the television here. It's funny what you said about the television screens, isn't it? Gaia TV, yeah. It's all interesting stuff. Interesting how she said that the male energy is across the universe. But if you look into all like the holy books, it's like God made us in his own image, and who's to say that obviously we're not just on this rock, we're out there in the galaxy. So ladies are across the galaxy and so are gentlemen. Interesting. And kitty cats. So I think I'll pull some cards out to see what's happening for the week ahead. I'll just go with it. Just getting some coffee. It's very spooky out there, guys. Just been into the garden there before. There is many different worlds, isn't there? And I'm beginning what I see within my remote viewing is the world is not what we think it is. It's not just a round bit of rock where we're all plonked on. There's a lot more going on that we do not know. There is many different worlds. I believe dogs are out there, but she said that the Pleiadians had more of a fluffy little thing. But there is dogs out there as well, yes. I tell you what it looked like. It looked like, what was there? They're like a gremlin, but you know, the fluffy one. Gizmo. It looked like like them little fluffy things like that. That's what they look like. Do you like the channeling? There's many different dimensions, isn't there? The light language. I've been able to talk in the light language from being a little girl. And obviously through society, I got embarrassed about it. You know, when I was young, I didn't know. I just knew what I was talking. But you find a lot of children talk in the light language. Yeah, like a teddy bear little bunny thing. James Dunnan. Yeah. There's been a lot of clouds, hasn't there? So she's very interesting. The images that I'm showing are really interesting. I've been taken onto the starship quite often in seeing in the different living quarters and that, you know. And there's all different races, and some of them are coupled up in their rooms. It's just like Star Trek, guys. It really, really is. It's interesting what you said about the technology. How it's been put into like a lock so they can watch and control it. But we need the technology. But the next line there's a new internet, there's a timeline. She didn't want to say too much, but there's a timeline when things go a bit pear-shaped. maybe his grade going down or something like that, they'll bring it in. They'll bring it in. And they'll use different humans on the earth plane, questioning of the human, like people like Musk and people like that, to bring in this new technology. My understanding is that Musk's got a very strong Starseed link. A lot of are experiencing missing time. What did you think about that video I showed you from Slapped Ham? Do you think that they were dressed up? Because I don't think they were dressed up like from a fancy dress. I think they were real. That was taken in the United Kingdom, that, you know, the early hours of the morning. Just recently. Isn't it strange? If anybody's coming in late on the feed here, you'll have to like watch it back. They looked a bit like vampires, but I think that they were definitely extraterrestrials. Could you imagine coming up against a being like that early hours of the morning? How would you react, guys? Seriously, guys, how would you react if you were sitting in a train station or somewhere, or a tube station on your own early hours of the morning waiting for your train, and then some beings like that walked past you, up to you? How would you feel? Yeah, it could well be, but say for example, if that did happen, how would you feel? The video, it's Slapped Ham. If you'll be able to see it if you missed the first half of the show. EV Details, Slapped Ham. He just put it out the other day. EV Details in video. And it's, I'm going to check them out again. I have to turn the sound down because I don't want to get done for copyright or anything. I think it's getting harder for the it's not just the reptilians what shapeshift, you know. There's different beings what shapeshift. Right, wait a second. Just for the people who haven't seen it. This was taken in the United Kingdom on a CCTV camera. And the security guard sent it in. Check it out. I mean, there's no, I don't know. Very weird, isn't it? Is it a hoax? Look, his ears are quite high up. See, like, if, I don't know, it just doesn't... Creepy, isn't it? Very creepy. Bad elves. They could be actors. They really could. I mean, you just don't know, do you? But that's the type of thing I watch late at night, you know. He actually gets a lot of footage from the Yetis coming in as well. The Sasquatches. Because I've done a lot of that type of thing, you know. And come the warmer nights, I'm going to be doing that with a group of lads and taking you going live into the woods and that. We're going to go to Bowlam Lakes and that, and where there's been sightings of the Northern Yeti. So I think that'll be good for you to watch. It just says the UK. I would have to look more into it. But the United Kingdom, where the footage was taken. Somewhere down south, I think. They can stay down south. I don't want them up here. There's so many different portholes, isn't there? We've got enough spooky stuff going on up here. Right. What's going on for the week ahead? I mean, the whole scheme of things, it's not really important, but just to see what we'll be witnessing. Oh yeah, James in the audience, because I've done him a reading. He's just written it there, because as you know, I don't discuss people's readings unless he's obviously put it out. He became unconscious, and we discovered that he'd been abducted down a spooky country road on his bike, and he lost time. So let's lay these cards out for the week ahead. Give us a true answer, Michael. Okie dokie. I'm going to put 7 cards out. You all right, son? Good, good. Oh, it is. It's very comforting to watch spooky stuff just before you go to sleep, because I do daft things like that. Tell Adam to get a lighter. Let's have a look. Okay. Okay, so there's more conflict going on. Definitely more conflict. I think that it's a new wave. I like that. It's the yin and the yang. It's a very spiritual, high energy what's coming in for Earth, for we're all. So some of you may experience strange dreams, or you start to more clarity, starting to get more intuition, and we're all getting more downloads as well. So it's about we're keeping my feet firmly on the ground, but that's balance. I love that. It's like balance. Okay. And the reason I think that they're sending it in the angel realm is because it's all going to be conflict, what's coming out on the news. And I mean, everyone's not into politics and stuff like that. There's other stuff going on as well, you know. But as you know, I cover politics on here with the world predictions, but it is very, very heavy this week. And there's a lot of like different, you know, there's like scandals. I've said this for a long time. It's like ping pong, backwards and forwards. That's what's happening at the minute. And I don't know about you guys, but I just think it is very, very strange. I put a video out on my Facebook business wall this afternoon, and it was for a guy called Penguin. And he lives in Washington, D.C., and he rides around on his pedal bike with his camera, taking footage and that. And they've got a whiteboard up at the White House at the minute, and you just wanted to know and go and see what was going on. And apparently, I think it's tonight, Biden's having a dinner with the Prime Minister of South Korea. They're all getting ready. They're having this dinner. So it's like they're having this big event. But it was crawling with FBI and police over there this afternoon. And he's quite in tuned in guy. So he goes and tells you what he can get and the feelings he gets. He just goes on a walk or rides around on his bike. And it's really interesting. But he caught Biden in the car being driven back into the White House. And he had a mask on and he was waving. And I don't know, it just didn't seem... Yeah, Penguin. Really good. Check him out. He's on YouTube. But he looked very sort of like robotic. Like something didn't seem right with the energy. And this guy was saying it's just really strange. Like very heavy energy. But then also Trump looks really bedraggled. You know what I mean? With everything what's happening. And I did say in one of my last world predictions that the carry-on, was it with Jean Carroll? He was taking him to court for the allegations. I don't think it's going his way. I don't actually know what's happened, but I did see something. I wouldn't like to say, but it doesn't look very good for him at the minute. But he looks very stressed, and he's attacking the other one, the one who's in Florida. And somebody had said to me a little while ago, oh no, Trump's going to go in with DeSantis, right? And I said, no way. There's no way they're going to mix. And I've been right. They're not mixed, you know what I mean? So there's like that energy going on there. But they're all the same Pleiades, the way I see it is. It's all part of the same corporation. It's politics is the same penny, just two different sides. Do you know what I mean? But he doesn't actually look very well, Trump, at the minute. And I do believe there's doubles out there. Definitely is doubles. But I want to say it's like it's all a show. So there's more going on behind the scenes. Yeah, there's something definitely going on. And I believe Tucker's just made an announcement, something about podcasting and something. And he's just got a massive deal, hasn't he? Which I said he would do a lot of podcasting. I said that. So that's come off recently, just from Tuesday. So we've got the Empress energy and we've got the High Priestess energy. So these are, but you see, you've got all this. I'm going to show you the rest of the cards. So these are like covering and protecting we, and it's trying to soothe we. And not to get too absorbed with everything what's out there, because we've got a lot of conflict coming out here. We've got the King of Swords upside down. We've got the hyphenate, right? That's like court stuff, law stuff, legal actions. But then we've got that, and I always say that is like, you know, like the dark underworld, like Alice in Wonderland, you know what I mean? And there's like all the Masonic stuff and that, satanic stuff. The secrets, I get secrets with that. And there's like the four heads of the corporations, the beast, you know what I mean? So they're all fighting against each other. There is a lot of satanic stuff on this planet. You can't, Shalah's told us this, you know, it's because we're a very tribal race and it's a free will world. And we are all the hybrids, so we're all playing out what we need to play out. And it's like a battle course on this planet. It actually always has been, but it's like we're in that sort of Luciferian times at the minute, you know. It's like it's really at the minute, right? So we're having to step into our own power. Did you have a dream last night with that rabbit, did you? Politics is just all a front, because everything what's happening behind the scenes is a bigger picture, because we're coming into a new earth. And when I talk about new earth, it's like the old corporations are falling. There's still going to be corporations there, but there's going to be a lot of people exiting. All right. So we're being tested. We're going to be massively tested. There's no minor cards coming out yet. They're all major arcana. So when all the major arcana of the deck comes out, the pictures and the suits, it means there's big twists of fate to happen within the week. I'm going to pull some more cards out. Ho, ho, ho. So there's something big coming off here. But that could be, I'm looking into the following week, okay? 7 days from now. So we're in different dimensions as well. And I'm going to do a video on dimensions. You know, people talk about everybody wants to be in the 5th dimension. That's the way to be. But not necessarily. Because we're all here with different abilities. So the 5th dimension doesn't always suit everybody. Some people might just want to stay in that 3D, but it doesn't mean they're a nasty person. It could just be that they're in their bliss, in their frequency. Remember, everything's been categorized. Everything's been labeled. And even down to teachings, we've got to be so careful how... Shalah's told us this. So they're 5th dimensional, yeah? But some people, she says this, some people aren't ready for this. That doesn't mean they're bad people. So I would say the majority of Earth, there's a lot of people go into that high dimension. So some people aren't. You've got old people who are ready to leave the planet, who will never dream of looking into dimensions. And you could be a little old granny, you know, but it doesn't mean that she's a bad person. Everyone's on their different levels. The majority of the children coming onto Earth now are on that high frequency. So we've got the 7 of Swords. We've got the Justice. It's upside down Justice as well. We've got the 4 of Pentacles. Let's pull some more out. We've got the 3 of Rods. The shit is about to hit the fan, guys. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Rods. I look at that and I just think it's like mudslinging what's happening at the minute, because there's a lot of stuff to come out what the left have on the right, okay? And it's all coming out. But then, right, we've got, that's like protection. It's like the red's putting up their protection. And there's a Four of Pentacles. It's like even the Four of Pentacles, so it's like tit for tat. So you're doing that to us, we'll do this to you. It's like, nah. It's like it's on both sides. So the secrets to come out here might take a few weeks to come out. If we're going on the Seven of Swords and the Three of Rods, take 3 away from 7, swords is months. So that is the way you read the cards, you see, right? So that was the last one to come out. So the swords is months, the rods is weeks. Different types, you've got the wands, different types of tarot, all right? So you would say 4 months from now, it's like there's a spin on this. So we'd say 4 months from now, say May, June, July, August, very, very interesting. But it's going to get really heavy, and they're going to get a lot on around Trump and to do with Trump. But I've said this all along, even if they get him on indictments, I still feel, I'm not like clued up on it, I still feel he could run. So it's just never ending. This will go on forever and a day. Funny as an ant. You know what I mean? Until, you know what I mean? It's it's going to go on and on and on and on. Even when the players come out like Trump and Biden. Yeah. Even if he's found guilty, he could still run. In fact, I don't know if the law stands that even if he was in prison, he could still run. I don't think that's going to happen to him, mate. It is horrible. But prepare yourselves. They're going to get a lot on him. Excuse me. But there's a spin on this. If it's not 4 months, it's 4 weeks. Because I'm sure I said in one of my last full predictions that 7 weeks from now, and I said that 2 weeks ago, 4 to 5 weeks, something is to happen. But I don't know if it's more to do with something else. It could be to do with banks or energy. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting that saying, let sleeping dogs lie. So how people on the right have been upset because stuff on the left hasn't come out with certain individuals. It's just been blocked and stopped. Okay. It's like just gone to sleep. It's been left. But it's brewing. It's brewing. I've got the Magician card here. I'm getting very summer solstice when I look at that. Stonehenge. Got the unicorn, got the full moon. Sorrento Moon. I love that song, Sorrento Moon by Tina Marina. Remember that from the 90s? I love that song. The Magician card. So it's magical times, summer solstice. We have to try and raise this vibration. There's so much corruption. It's horrible. It's really horrible. And I've always said this, it's going to take ages for the USA to heal. They're going to take the longest. Good evening, Rita. Right. More. 5 of Wands. 3. There's no win. Yeah, this is sorting out, you guys. I mean, we've got the 5 of Wands. I mean, that's just terrible. Yeah, have you heard my tummy there? There's the 5 of Rods. So it's like squabbling on. But that's within the red. That's within the Republican. They're arguing within each other. 2 guys to come onto some storyline what's coming out. Where they're arguing on and it's all going to get very toxic. And there's the Dems like laughing in the media. So it's like the media has gone rogue at the minute. But what's happening behind the scenes is there's a big cleanup happening. It's going to take time. It's going to take time, guys. So don't get caught up in it. We've got the 8 of Swords. We've got there's something global. I'm going to look into this. There's something like global to come off, and I can't put my finger on what it is. 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords within a month. So I'm actually getting it's got a lot to do with the way the energies are, solar eclipse, everything, you know, the way the energies are, the stars, the planets, and it's around about the time. So we've got within the one. We've got by next week is interesting because we've got next Saturday, we've got the Coronation. So I'm going to pull some cards out on that and look into the UK. So we need to see what takes centre stage. But it might not be it's actually to do with the Coronation. It could be what's to do with around globally, what's happening around about that time, the retrograde year. So the May the 5th is lunar eclipse. So it's going to be the 6th is going to be, it's happening on a Saturday. Yeah, it's round that. So it's something global what's taking place. Let's have a look. Let's go drink a coffee. The Coronation will definitely go ahead. Going to be interesting to see who turns up. There's going to be some big names there, but Biden's not going, which is interesting. He went to Ireland. Eight of Pentacles. So we've got the Coronation going ahead. We've got the Coronation going ahead. And there's going to be like processions in the street and all of that. We'll have the gold carriages out, all the pomp and all the horses doing that bit. And the military will be out and that. I don't think it's going to go on as long as what the Queen's was. But that is a show. So it'll be crawling with security. It always is. Jill's going, but he's not. It's a bit strange, that, isn't it? But illusion, I want to say that even though we're watching this all 3D, there's something global to happen. I'm going to see what it is. Oh, thank you, not thinking. A little dinosaur. So there's something global going on, and it's like it's a distraction what's going to happen. And I think it's just after the event, either just before or just after. Thursday, Friday is quite big for political news into next week. Wednesday is going to be explosive, so I don't know what that is. Three Kings. We've got the King of Swords, the King of Cups, and the King of Wands. Three Kings. Three major events to come off within the next couple of weeks, or three big bits of news. Not events, maybe it's one event and two big bits of news. But I'm very drawn to France and I'm very drawn to London. So, but the Sun card is covering. So even though it's not the best timing for the coronation, there is something covering it. Okay. I am seeing smoke and horses running, but I'm not saying it's connected with that. It could be a different situation altogether. It could be something that kicks off in the USA or to do with France, because I am sort of seeing lots of people. It's an image I'm seeing, and lots of people like trying to get away, banging in smoke. So I just want to send healing and blessings out there, so hopefully that timeline won't happen. And I want to give you number 17, number 11 and number 10. There's definitely something going on with the banks. Definitely 100% something's going on with the banks. And there's a big news to come out with banks within the 2. So I don't know, I'm not saying it's 2 days. It could be 2 weeks, 2 months. But also to do with a big corporation. 2 big bits of big companies. Scandal and something going bust. It's going to be all over. I get the letter N or M and it's all over the news. It could be to do with the UK or something a company what's in the UK, but it's also globally. So possibly watch for that as well. There's a lot of problems in the UK, I mean, we've got a lot of problems in stabbing in North London and all over the place. We've got shootings what take place in Liverpool. It's a worry. I mean, my milkman, again, me stuff didn't come. I get something from the modern milkman, and I thought it was a bit strange. And then I got it on the app saying there'd been a problem and he couldn't make it. So then the email, it said that the delivery driver had been mugged. So I contacted them, and apparently he had turned up at the end of the street and somebody gunpoint had hit him on the head and mugged him with all the food out of the van. How crazy is that? So there is a lot of crimes going on here. Do you know what I mean? So the poor guy was taken to hospital. He's okay. But consequently, all the stuff got nicked. So there you go. So there is a lot of crime what's going on over here. And there's still a lot of worry. There's a lot of stuff. I was talking to somebody who's in North London, and there's a high crime in North London. Poor man, I know. So he was shocked. Do you know what I mean? Just doing his job, the poor lad. So, but luckily he didn't get too hurt. But yeah, they were armed, and but to go to that extent to rob somebody with food in a van, it's crazy, isn't it? So it comes down to where's the funding going, because the police, and I mean, don't get me going on them Tories. Do you know what I mean? When they're just sitting there all rich and getting richer, and it's the people who are suffering. Where's our taxes going? Where's our taxes going? But we will be all right. A lot of people have emailed us about worry with the UK, with house prices and rent going up and inflation, and people are really on the breadline over here. It's everywhere else as well. But there is a breakthrough. There is a golden light. I see sunshine. I see sunshine at the end of all of this. But there's a lot of scandals to come out with the Tory party. And there's going to be something about teachers or strike, or there's going to be different workers going on strike. And where there's going to be protests in London, someone's going to resign. So if it's not from the summer to the end of the year, you're looking into the following one, there's going to be a change. Don't forget, Rishi Sunak was not voted in by the people. It was the Tory party what got him in. because they pushed Liz out. But we as the people in the UK, we did not vote him in. So I think that there's a lot of stuff to come out there. And I also feel there's more news to come out with Scotland as well. More scandals to come out there. I know there was recently some scandals coming out, wasn't there, to do with that woman who used to be up there, or what you called again, in Scotland. With her husband, there were scandals what come out. But there's more scandals to come out. There's also going to be a holy man what's going to suddenly just leave. He's just going to pass. So let's see what that is. Get something crazy about weather this year as well. And I when I was looking into that, I'm going to look into it again in a minute. Something about seas and worry with stuff like that. So I'm going to look at that. Well, what we writers put here is, and I totally agree, I'm totally with you, mind, how all elections are possibly, there could be, yes. Yes. Right, so we've got the Fool card. So, the story of the Fool in the tarot is that you get to the end and then there's only way now is up. So it's like the ending of all the rubbish. But I want to say we have a little bit more to come, because the players are like losing, so they're going to like create more stuff. More stuff. Okay. But yeah, there's something about big changes coming in with the Tory party. So if it's not from the summer to the end of the year, big scandals, you're looking into next year. And I say voting. Remember everything I'm telling you, and it'll all fall into place. So there's a holy man just to suddenly leave. Where there'll be one, there'll be two. Listen carefully there, it'll all fall into place there. We've got the 10 of Cauldrons. So also there's going to be an uprising to do with something to do with the children in the UK. That could be teachers again. Nurses, more strikes. I mean, there's no money going into the NHS. It's falling. And I predict that there's going to be like a 3-tiered system what's going to come in. Something about an industry over here. Like an industry, I don't know if it's to do with trains or it's to do with like, it's not, no, it's like I see a big factory. And it's like they're trying to shut it down. A lot of these corporations trying to shut all the work and industry down, because it's the backbone of Britain is the north of the UK, you know what I mean? So there's going to be like a big industry, and there's worry to do with people losing their jobs and stuff like that. It's like a big factory. And I'm smelling like a chemical smell. I don't know if it's to do with gas or plastic or something, so watch for that. Got the Justice card here. So there's a lot of cleanup happening in this country as well. And I just think that when you're looking at like the likes of Macron and Trudeau, they are very sort of, I feel, are very compromised, very, very compromised. And I just think when it comes to the Tory party as well, I just think it's like these Eton schoolboys, you know, they're born into it. The whole corporation is rotten to the core, guys. You know what I mean? I've never voted. I've never wanted to vote. I'm not proud saying it. It's because I always knew that it was dodgy. Do you know what I mean? But they've just recently made it law that if you don't fill in, because I think they want to use your name, really, basically, for it, even if you don't go and vote. But if you don't fill in, you get fined. They're criminals. See, I'm keep the vibrations up. Live in light. Yes. So, but then if you look on the other side, the Labour, I mean, they're no better. You know, no better, as we say, us Geordies, no better. At least with Boris, he was likeable. You know what I mean, Sunak's very good looking. You know, posh boy with his sports car and everything. I mean, he's very, very rich. But I mean, while they're waffing it and look like they're having a good time, half of Britain's starving and they're on the breadline. Do you know what I mean? But we've got the tower that there's now. When I say corporation in the UK, it's the rot. What I was saying about what the Queen said to the guy that I knew who was in the stables, that you've got honestly no idea. This is what she said. Who's running this country? It's a small group of very evil people, and you wouldn't want to come up against them. All right? So that's what is going on at the minute, and that's what's falling. So not the royal family, it's this corporation. Controlled oppositions I'm being given. So they were like, I mean, Harry's come out with this when he did all his scandal stuff. It's like that he had to do this and he had to do that. But so that they're probably intercepted in like these handlers in on this family. Do you see what I mean? But I feel very, very strongly that I don't think King Charles is going to be King Charles for long. I definitely feel it's for William. That's what I feel. But when it comes to this corporation, I think that the Tory government are steeped in with foreign influence from different corporations. So while us in Britain are looking at the America, which is happening as well, it's happening everywhere, isn't it? But it's quite steeped over here. But one thing that cannot manipulate is fate in God. Not everybody's into religion. Not everyone's, into that type of thing. But I believe that there's something bigger about to take place to let them, for it all to appear, it's all got to come out, and it's going to take time. It's going to take time. But what we've got to come in, we'll have a roaring 20s again when it all sorts out. We've got abundance. We've got Isis inspiration. Oops, they're jumping. Isis inspiration. We've got abundance. And we've got the King of Pentacles. And that's like man. That's Queen. I would say Queen and Country. That's like England. They cannot take the Brit down. Because we are not just the Anglo-Saxons now and the Vikings which settled here. We are a multicultural race of African descent, Pakistans, Indians, everything. And the Scots, you know what I mean? Typical Londoners, Cockneys. We're too superstitious because we're all different cultures. I just feel it's like another Guy Fawkes, guys. It's like some things, it's like it's Parliament what's falling and changing. But I'm being given tonight, it may take, don't forget I'm not either side, it may take another Tory to sort it out. But I believe Rishi Sunak will step down at some point. And they're really strong. Like that song I put out, I am thy mother's savage daughter. It's a modern Norse song. So like as we are ascending, our ancestral roots are coming to the forefront, because we are not just healing us, we are healing our ancestors. And look what our poor ancestors have gone through. Look what our poor ancestors went through. It's got to come out at the right timing. All right. So, but like I say, next Saturday, it will be all very pomp. But it won't last long. Harry, you've got to watch mannerisms. It's going to be interesting to watch. Mannerisms is going to see a lot, and with certain people who's going to be going there, because there's been certain stars, hasn't there? Like Adele didn't want to go. Certain people who turned it down. And Biden turned it down. I mean, it's a coronation, for God's sake. When have you heard of a president? Trump would have been there. Trump met the Queen. Trump, I'm telling you, Trump would have been there. There's no way he would have missed that. All that pomp. It's just strange. Very, very strange. So I'm going to look into that. But success. Getting some about tennis. That's Wimbledon, isn't it? Mrs. Biden will be there with Mr. Harris. Yeah. Strange, isn't it? Let me have a look. Best possible decision. Just timing, guys. Like I said, just movie. Just get on with your, do your stuff. That's what I say. But it's going to be interesting as to go how some people are going to react. Very, very interesting. Queen of Cauldrons. That's Kate. Like I say, no matter what you think about the royal family, I predict Kate and William will be the ones who'll be up there. She's going to look very stunning on the day. She's been coming forward with a lot of glamorous little outfits on. I think Harry and Meghan are having troubles. A lot of troubles. There's another royal princess to come in here, so I don't know where that's coming in from. I need to just ask something which is very important. Could we have power outages? Oh, we're still on the coronation. Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. There they all are at the banquet afterwards. I mean, I've got customers that day. Life goes on, do you know what I mean? But some people have taken the days off, like certain people. You'll have to remind us on, guys. I might get up early, watch a bit of it before I start work. My mother wants us to go over, but I've got like clients. Money's money, do you know what I mean? I mind sitting watching that. But it will be interesting, and I think what goes on around Harry and William's going to be very interesting. Mary Max, what about Khan? Is he the mayor? Correct me, is he the mayor of London? Yeah, there was something I used to watch. Brenda, my friend, used to send us it. If I find out what it is, I'll tell you about it in the next one. They're all about UK politics. It's on the television sometimes as well. It's a Tory lad. He's dead funny, and he's friends with this Labour lad, and they have debates on the television about it. But they're friends, but they have debates, and it's really funny. The Geordie, the Labour lad's from, he's a Geordie. So funny. Right, so let's look into the Mayor of London, which I've never done before. Ooh, I don't get a very good vibe. Something about money with him. I don't think he's like helping the people like he should be helping. Something about children as well. It's coming out very, very strong. Like, I think that's like backstab. It's like upside down ace of swords. Like, there's something going on behind the scenes with him. Something's not right. Yeah, because I've got the Magician card. When's the next voting for that? For a different mayor? I want to say that a woman energy should come in. There's a female energy. But he's not going to leave easy, him. There's a big twist of fate with him to do with the Mayor of London. Again, I've got the major arcana of the deck out, so there's no timing. It's something about money to come out with him, remember that? Or scandals. Yeah, the Emperor, so these are very strong cards. I would say very compromised, very, very compromised. Yes, Lady C. She's intersect. She said a lot of rows are. Let's have a look. I don't know about a lot of royals, but there's some. There's so many different scandals out there, like tales. I'm just drawn to Harry at the minute, and I can't put my finger on it. I think there's his face is going to say it all, or mannerisms, remember that. But it's Charles's day. I don't know what this scene is I'm seeing, and I'm not saying it's to do with the coronation, it could be somewhere else, but I'm seeing horses and smoke and loud bangs. Let's see what's going on with the Pope in the Vatican. Because I know he'd been in hospital, hadn't he? Something's not right with Harry. In fact, I'm going to pull more cards out on Harry. I am my mother's savage daughter. But he's not very happy at the minute. You know how when we had the Queen's funeral and he looked very sort of peed off as well? It's like that energy. There's something like going on here. And there's definitely something going on behind the scenes. And I'm not saying he's being bullied or compromised, but there's something handling him at the minute. And I always get between the horse and the hounds when I see that. Like, there's the hounds, two-faced, compromised, but a lot of lies, a lot of stuff to come out there. Badly advised, maybe? It could be badly advised. He's got ideas of another book to come out. His next book's going to be quite shocking. Or or if it's not a book, it's like a podcast or something. There may have been rewriter, but I just think that William and Kate are in love. No matter what people say, I really do feel that they're solid. Everybody has a past from some lover. Do you know what I mean? But definitely William and Kate are solid. I'll pull some cards out on it. Solid. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, like any marriage, they'll have problems. But she does a lot of work, actually. The pair of them do a lot of work. They're a solid couple. Yeah, just like a normal couple behind the scenes, but they work a lot. They have a lot of engagements. Princess Anne does as well, you know what I mean? Princess Anne's one of the hardest working royals. But remember her kids, she pulled the kids out of the royal corporation, the firm, because she didn't want them to have the lifestyle that she had grown up. She just wanted them to have a normal life. So you've got our kids went to normal school and everything, do you know what I mean? Well, they went to boarding school, but they didn't go to, like, they have that royal life. And she does loads of charity stuff. But Charles did as well, but he can't do it now. Because before all of this happened, he was living in the village with Camilla, with their dogs and that, and they did a load of charity, and he's into, apparently he's into his stargazing. He's got a healing yurt in his garden, and he's into growing his vegetables, and they went around the local schools telling the kids about trees and climate stuff. He was in all of that. And wanting to teach children how to grow their own vegetables. That's what Charles is into. And he's very massively into all the galactic stuff and that, because I watched a documentary on it. He's got a healing yurt in his garden. He's got his own telescope. So he can't do all these things now what he liked to do. And I mean, it's a hell of a lot for somebody to take on a role like that in their 70s. Do you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? That's what's happening here. So I believe that the royal family will change into the future, but you know how they've had people out there say that it's going to go down. It's not, because it's like our sort of say, like, if they're going to open a hospital, they'll get somebody out to cut a ribbon. It's like, it's just the way we are, us Brits. Do you know what I mean? But there's going to be more fairness to do with stuff like taxes and stuff like that when everything starts to clean up to do with the banking system. That is the banking system, guys. But I don't feel all the banks are going to go down. I just think it's going to be a case of certain banks will go down. But there's more stuff to come out with news outlets and stuff like that. Interesting. But not all banks will go down. They're like just cleaning away, like, the rotters out. Do you know what I mean? I actually do think there's been a change what's happened. They're trying to make it as smooth as possible. Jonathan. Oh my God. So, 8 of Rods. So like the lady there, she's got a witch's broom, smudge and just keep away, like push the negativity away. Remember, there's always two sides to a story. Do you know what I mean? But it's going to be quite interesting to watch, put it that way. Right, so I want to know about this vision that I'm seeing with horses running. It might be, it's somewhere else. It's like a large inbuilt area. It always reminds us of something like sort of Grand Theft Auto, you know, where there's like smoke going and ammunition and all of that. That's the energy I'm getting. And it looks like high built area, like somewhere like New York or London, or it could even be France, like high buildings, that type of thing. Could be the UK, I'm not sure. No, it's something elsewhere, but there's also going to be something to do with a big corporation around about that same time. Corporation falling or something around about the same time. Also, some shocking news to come out with a politician, like shock. I don't know where I'm getting that. I know this sounds really awful, but I don't know if it's like a sudden death or something like that. By the way, Jerry Springer's passed away. Is Jerry Springer passed away, guys? Or is, because you never know what to believe, do you? I used to like watching that once upon a time. So there's a lot of big names leaving, do you know what I mean? A lot of big names leaving. I don't think we're out of the woods with viruses. I think there's something else out there. So I've always said, like, we need to build up on our immune system, you know what I mean? We're going to have a blazing hot summer. A blazer of a hot summer. Which is good, but we need to like watch for, you know, heat waves can cause, like, don't have to put little dogs in cars and stuff like that, and little children and that. So it could be a little bit of a worry, because us Brits, again, we're not used to the heat. You know what I mean? And our houses aren't equipped for the heat. Our houses up here are equipped for keeping the cold out. I would say crazy weather's to happen globally, and typhoons, storms, big storm. The 28th, 17th, 16th, and the 19th. Right, okay. Minnesota, why am I getting Minnesota? Problems there. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Explosion or something, or burning smoke, another derailment or something. Watch for strangeness around the White House, okay? Where even the ones who are being unquestionable about things are going to start to question. Is that true? Could that be? Bizarre footage. Remember that. Even the unquestionable are going to question. Interesting. So, the study, we have to dig deep in, question, is that real? Is that him? Is that her? That type of thing. That's what I'm being given. When I look at the study, I think it's about us all looking within, doing the inner work, raising the vibration. Because the house is our body. Looking after our body, looking after our soul, looking after our thoughts. I get the Tower of London there. I actually know it's Big Ben, which will go digital. I see Big Ben changing. Problems at an airport, and I'm getting Harry, and I don't know if it's around about the same time, big news with Harry or something to do with an airport. Again, everything I'm telling you will all fall into place like a jigsaw puzzle. Come into my gypsy caravan, come in, sit down, I'll read your fortune. Until the next time. It is 2:00 in the morning, guys. I've been on here for 3 hours. I think it's time to call the night. I'm just going to put these away. I'm going to look in here quickly. A lot more sightings to come in the sky. There's a lot going on that we don't know what's all being held back from where. But like I say to you, a lot of these UFOs and strange phenomena is possibly being driven by males, like men, humans, shall I say. Could we say man? Could we say man? No, woman. No. Fluid people. Sorry. I'm getting tired. Right, okay. Yes. A lot of this is our military. That's Adam letting out a big yawn. I've said this in one of me, and I'm sure it's before I started, excuse me. It's before I started multi-streaming. And it was just on my Twitch show. And then I put it out. I'm sure I've got it in my library on my YouTube. And it's I did a night of woo-woo stuff and alien stuff. And I talked about that they'd messed on with like some sort of black matter, like they'd opened a porthole and there was like this monster thing what had unleashed. It was a bit like Stranger Things, like energy what got through. And I get that there's things what's coming into the atmosphere that we do not know. So I'm not saying they've released it. It could be what it's coming in from space rock, but there's something sort of literal they're going to be talking about. I don't know if it's a bug or a virus, and they're saying it's coming in from out there, but who's to say where it's come from? So that could come onto news at some point as well. Good God, could you imagine it? But I think we're going to get some crazy weather, and they're going to be talking a lot about space in ozone layers, so watch for that all coming out. So we just need to stay vigilant. Also you see rocks fly, like falling from like hills. Lots of lands and mudslides to do with around India and Pakistan this year. Just crazy, crazy weather, guys. It's very biblical times we're living in. But there's a big storm to hit the USA. The big one hasn't come yet. Let's hope it doesn't. Let's hope it diminishes. It could go off into 3 different storms. There's 3 big storms to hit the USA. This is what they're giving us. And then they will travel across Europe. And one of them's got the letter A or M. Everyone's talking about it. And it's around about that time when this storm's going about. There's going to be big news around that time to do with Trump. So I'll leave that one with you. Until the next time. Hope you have enjoyed that. And I'll try and get something out for you before the weekend. I am busy. But for everybody who's not on Twitch, oh God, we've got something in here. I think it's a daddy lion or something, or a moth. But I will be on Twitch on Sunday doing a deep dive. And if you want to come in on it, just don't forget, I'll put the link in the description. And there's 3 different tiers to it. I think one of them's about 3 or 4 quid. And you can always like come in on it, and it's really, really good. But you know, don't stress if you can't. I'll be back on again here soon on YouTube as well. And may the force be with you all, guys. And stay strong. And as I always say, as E.T. says, be good to Elliot, be good. Remember, everything's frequency, everything's energy. And I'll say one more thing. Keep calm and carry on. This is your Psychic LJ, closing in for the night. Goodbye.